Today we're going to talk about a 1988 BMW 535 with an M52 engine swap. We have Leland, who's selling the vehicle here. And Leland, look forward to hearing a little bit about this car.
Yeah.
Please jump on in and tell me a bit about maybe how long you've had it to start and, some of the basics around it.
Yeah. Cool. Right on. Well, thanks for the interest. And yeah, I've had it 2.5 years, and ended up purchasing it from my friends down in California at CA Tuned. And so CA Tuned does CA Tuned like motorsports, so BMW restorations, Audi, Mercedes. They've got a ton of SEMA cars that are amazing. And then there's CA Tuned Off Road, which is one of our vendors in the sprinter world. I build sprinter vans, my company Benchmark Vehicles in Portland. So I had a good, saw it come up for sale, and I've been looking at an E28 for a number of years and trying to find one that was clean and really well sorted out. So when I saw that those guys had already completed the motor swap, I kind of jumped all over it. Um, and yeah, had it shipped up here and closed transport from Sacramento, and have enjoyed it, have fixed it up, haven't really driven it much at all. But
That's too bad.
I've taken it, I know, I drive it around town a little bit, but I took it to Seattle up and back once, and it was amazing on the highway. The motor pushes 200 horsepower, so it's a,
It's great.
they if you know anything about an E28, the original six cylinder was somewhat pathetic. So
Yeah.
having a little bit larger flat six in there just really makes it a super fun car, especially like 5 speed limited slip rear diff, lowered on Bilstein's BBS wheels. The stance is awesome. It's loud, it's mean, it's super fun to drive. It's just
That's awesome.
satisfying behind the wheel.
That's awesome. Do you recollect if the folks down at CA Tune, do they have it California registered? Do you know with that engine swap and stuff?
Yeah, it was. I don't. So a little bit more on the back history of the car.
Yeah.
They performed the swap and basically all the work in 2016 for an older gentleman who had the car. And the story I heard about the previous owner was that he kind of was his little side project that he kept secret from his wife. He ended up falling ill. He passed away.
Oh, it's tragic.
And the wife wanted to get rid of the car, so she sold it to the guys at CA2 that did the swap and some of the work to it. And this guy had put a ton of money and a ton of work into it. When I
Yeah.
was stripping the car out just to do some interior work and investigation work, I found a receipt for like almost 8 grand for a Morel audio system that was put in the car.
Wow.
And like the guys at CA Tune didn't even know there was an audio system in there. But once I pulled the rear seat, there's like beautiful JL amplifier, crossovers, Morel speakers, throughout the car. So we got that system up and running. So the audio system's really cool, and nice high quality setup. Um, but yeah, that's unfortunately I don't have like a book of
Yeah.
receipts on the car, so
Yeah.
it's just sort of undocumented is what it is. But I ended up sorting out just a few basics, like oil pan gasket was leaking, so put a new oil pan gasket in there, it doesn't leak anymore. Fixed, I kind of cleaned up some of the electrical as well, just it was left over from the engine swap, so getting like the coolant light to read properly, the engine oil light to read properly, not turn on for no reason whatsoever.
Nice.
um and yeah, then that was really all I had to do to sort the car out to get it, you know, up and running smooth and,
That's great.
reliable.
That's great. Did you do the Bilstein shocks as well, or was that done by the CA Tune
That
guys?
that was done. The previous owner did that. I think he had a couple different shops
Uh-huh.
working on it. So C18 just did the motor swap, and then the previous owner did the lowering, coils, the Bilsteins, the BBS wheels. He had it repainted, and it's probably the best respray I've
Oh wow. Yeah,
seen like ever on an old car. I have a lot of old cars, and this one is flawless. So like all gaskets removed, all rubber replaced, everything completely disassembled. No runs, no tape lines, no weird bleed marks. Yeah, I mean, he must have spent a small fortune
that's
on the
great.
paint job
A-
alone.
And you think that was mid 2010s, give or take, when that was done, if you could
That was
guess?
2016. He did
It
all the
was
work.
all
Like,
right then too.
yeah,
Okay, great.
yeah, all right then.
Great, great, good. And then you did some of the work to the front seats, right?
Yep. So the front driver's seat, was worn. It was showing its age, so it was torn, and the foam was kind of worn out. So we took apart the seat, put in all new foam, tightened up all the springs, recovered it in factory original like OEM brown leather from BMW, and the passenger seat, we dyed the leather to match the kind of the brand new leather since the shade was a couple tones off. So the front seats are, you know, driver's seat's brand new. Passenger seat is looks flawless, new. All the electronics, all adjustments are all electric on those, or they all work perfectly. And then yeah, the rear seat haven't done yet, but could use the seat cushion could use a recover, which I'll probably end up taking care of before selling the vehicle. But yeah,
Great. Awesome. Very cool. Does it need anything mechanically?
the only thing that I haven't sorted out from leftover from the engine swap would be the idle advance for when the air conditioning is kicked on. So, it's an old R12 system. It works great. You're, highway driving or just driving around town. But when you come down to a full stop, there is no idle advance, so it wants to surge unless you give it a couple hundred RPMs. So that's like the one thing I haven't sorted out. But also living in Oregon, we don't have a ton of super hot days, so I haven't wasn't too high on my priority list, but would be an easy fix for someone to
I see.
tackle.
Sure, sure.
But
Okay,
yeah,
great.
other than that, no. I replaced the oil pan gasket, so that was kind of my biggest concern. Just didn't want it leaking any oil
Right.
in my shop here, and um, yeah. Other than
Very
that,
cool.
yeah, starts every time and
All right.
runs smooth, sounds good.
Nice. Um, well, great. I guess my last question then for you is any memories that you had with this? Actually, I have two questions. One, any fun memories that you've had, and then second, what are you going to replace it with?
Yeah, I do have some good memories with it. Taking it up to Seattle, had a nice like road trip weekend in it. And that was just a really fun experience. And then I have a 2-year-old son, and he loves just hopping in the car and adjusting the seats and
It's
sitting at the
awesome.
steering wheel. And he's obsessed with cars. He's kind of around my shop full of cars and vans all the time, so it makes
Fantastic.
sense. And yeah, that's probably my best memory.
That's
But
great.
yeah, I want to move on to a different project, so I'm looking for like a G body 911 to do a safari build on. Yeah, I'm a Porsche guy. I have a 911 as well, but yeah, I want to do something lifted, uh, and fun. So
Fantastic.
yeah,
That sounds
put
great.
some put some money towards that.
That
Yeah,
sounds great.
start with another project.
Very good. Very good. Well, Leland, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time here to chat about this very nice E28. So thank you so much.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you.
Check out this vehicle at curatedOverland.com.